Tommy.
What is up, my man? I see you rocking a new look there at the IC title belt.
It would help if I had it the right way.
Yeah,
the champ is here.
Yeah, there you go. Wayne the champion, my man. Are you celebrating the release of WWE 2K22 or something there? You're creating superstar?
I think I'm gonna buy the game. I think I'm gonna buy the WWE 2K22 game tomorrow. However, I'm hearing like something where if you play online against somebody, like there's no entrance music or something like that.
Yeah, the servers are.
So I gotta check that out.
Servers are a little bad, but I'm telling you, man, if you play 2K20 and you thought it was terrible, get this new one because this new one is it's fun, man. It's just different. It brings me back to being a wrestling fan.
Listen,
and that's what we're here for, man.
There is no reason for WWE 2K22 to be a bad game this year. They've had 2 years to fix out the glitches.
There's a lot
of those glitches were crazy in 2020.
There's a lot of stuff in it, man.
We got a show to start here.
Yes, sir.
So I'm excited. We got some AEW fallout from Revolution to talk about. A lot to unpack. Some happenings on SmackDown tonight. So we
some big happenings, man. We got
some pretty
big WrestleMania style matches happenings coming here.
So Tom, are you ready? Episode 84. Are you ready? 16 more episodes.
Can you say it one more time, man? I think I need a Triple H.
Tom, I said, are you ready?
You're damn right.
Are you ready?
Agility from the champion. Oh, deep six. That could be a deliberate this deep six.
Good evening. This is episode 84 of the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Wayne. I am joined by my co-host, Tommy.
Yes, sir.
As some people would call us the Hook Bros.
Tommy the Hook Bros. Yeah, I know. No, not anymore, man. I cut my hair.
I got a little hook going on under this hat. It's a little scruffy up there.
I had to let it. I couldn't let it go too far, man. I gotta wear the hat even still, but yeah, man. I one day I'll get back to the hook hair. I know you commented on that one time, and we've never been able to let it go, but we'll get back to it.
Hey, listen, Dave Smith is one of our loyal fans watching every week. He's probably watching right now. There's a comment there. Let's see. Yeah, right there.
It's from Dave. There it is, my man. The Hook Bros. You know it. We're here, man.
Hey, Wrestling Entertainment. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yes.
We for those of you guys that are watching that don't know, we just rebranded from the Deep Six Pro Wrestling Podcast to the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Take a look at that.
Starting over a little bit.
Take a look at that logo up there. That's credit, it's sitting there behind you, Wayne. That's credit to my dad right there.
Yes,
helping me out there with the logo. It looks great, man. I love the rebranding. I couldn't have done it without him. So, hey, shout out to Scott. He's killing it with the logo right there, and we're excited, man.
I love this logo. Let me tell you,
it's great.
T-shirt quality. T-shirts will be coming out.
Yes,
we're
excited.
In the making.
And hey, man, if I think about it right, we had this pay-per-view. We're called the Aftermath, so we're looking at the Aftermath. I see it in the background right there of AEW Revolution. Man, we got WrestleMania coming up. I think we're gonna have we got a big weekend planned for WrestleMania, don't we, man?
Ooh, we got a lot going on.
Yeah, dude.
Friday night.
Hardest working podcast.
Show, the hardest working podcast, but we have fun doing it. Friday night, Saturday night post show, Sunday night post show. Unfortunately, I'll be back to work that Monday.
No, man,
I'll be home.
We gotta do a show.
I'll be home that Monday for Raw, and that Raw after WrestleMania cannot miss, and we will do a show that night.
Hey, and I mean, like the perfect thing about that Raw after Mania is if depending on the time. Let's see, Raw ends at 11. We normally go about an hour here. Sounds like I think there's a birthday boy coming up for the Raw after WrestleMania that Tuesday.
Just remember, every time a WrestleMania weekend rolls around, it's Tommy's birthday.
Yep, it always is, man. And
Tommy
Turn 24. It's my Kobe year. Man, we're excited, man. It's crazy to think that
and not just in the wrestling world. There's a lot going on. Baseball was just announced.
Oh my goodness,
football's
man.
brewing up. I know you're happy about your Denver Broncos. I know you were going there.
Let me tell you, man. We'll get to the wrestling in a minute, but I've been waiting to talk about this for a while. You know, I woke up for the last few days and I'm feeling a little dangerous, man. Russell Wilson coming to the Denver Broncos. I mean, this is big news right here. There it is. There's my man. You need to swap out that jersey right there. He's coming to Denver. 5 picks, 3 players, man. It doesn't matter who they gave up. I don't care. Let me tell you, man. I know you're a Jets fan. You know, you've watched some.
I'm a free agent right now.
Yeah, we've both watched some pretty crappy football the last few years, and the Broncos have been in let's just call it QB hell for the last 6 years since Peyton Manning left, and being from Indianapolis, it's always tough, man. It's tough to see the Colts do well, but. Man, the Broncos got Russell Wilson. I mean, like,
free agent.
I can't even begin to tell you the excitement that went through my head right when that happened. But, you know, I as much of a football fan as I am, and as much as a Broncos fan as I am, like, man, like, I think the best news I got all week, like you mentioned, we got baseball coming back.
So, Tom, I don't know if you noticed, but I've been trolling Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe a little bit of maybe I'll do some Instagram trolling too. But I've been trolling Facebook by changing my Facebook profile to a different football team. So I'm going to change it from week to week just to see who I can piss off. But yes, a final decision will be made during the summertime.
Hey man, I mean, we'll take you in Denver. You know, we got a high power offense. You know, we got the number 3 defense in the league. I mean, you know, come.
I don't know about all that, but the one thing that's good about Denver is they find themselves always coming around near a Super Bowl like every 5 to 10 years or so. Yep. So it's a good organization. I can't lie.
Denver has vaulted themselves.
They've done more in the last 5 years than what the Jets have done in the last 50.
Denver has vaulted themselves into I would say, a top, and this is, hey, you got to take this with a grain of salt. I'm biased. I will admit that. I'm a Broncos fan. I'm very, very, very passionate about my team. Denver is a top 4 team in the AFC, and I will stand by that. I think you look at the Bills, you look at the Chiefs, maybe the Patriots. I think Denver's right there. I really do. I think that the 3rd-ranked defense in the league, you got one of the top young offenses in the league. You're throwing in a perennial proven quarterback who's won a Super Bowl, been to another, lost on a pick that was a bad play call. Yeah. This is going to be a fun.
Denver's got
season.
Tools, but look what they have in the division. They got Derek Carr for
That's
LA.
what I'm telling you, man.
Don Herbert's in LA too as well. Kansas City.
I honestly think this is the best division. I think this is the best, most talented quarterback class in a division that we've ever seen. In Wayne, you're a Commanders fan now. Hey, you know what, man? The Colts, my hometown team, man, they traded Carson Wentz to the Commanders. You could go be a Wentz supporter.
All right, so we got to get to some wrestling.
Yeah,
man. We'll get to we'll get back to maybe a little sports talk. If any guys want to throw in, man, we got to talk about
baseball at some point.
Baseball.
Our 2 teams are
Batman
in the same
movie.
division.
No spoilers. I'm gonna watch Batman tomorrow, but I'm gonna check.
You haven't seen it yet?
We're going to be talking about that on this podcast for sure.
Oh man, let me tell you,
we're going to have some Batman talk.
Are you a Batman fan?
I am a Batman fan.
Okay,
sure.
I'm a little nerd for Batman. So let me tell you, if you're a Batman fan, you're gonna love it. It is phenomenal. I'll just leave it at that.
Alrighty, so this was some kind of week in AEW.
Yeah,
let me tell you, almost to the point where AEW had so much going on that is overshadowing the fact that we are on the road to WrestleMania, and that's how big of a week that I feel AEW had.
Yeah.
Some people weren't too fond of AEW Revolution, so, but I thought it was a pretty decent pay-per-view, and it built up for what's about to come.
Hey, it's tough, man. I mean, AEW has just put on show after show after show that has been either really good or above average. I mean, they've all been pretty enjoyable. I don't think this one takes the top spot. I think there's obviously been some better pay-per-views, but this one is, the length still gets me, but this one was still a really solid show. I think that we'll get into it, but there were a lot of matches that I think had the potential, whether from an in-ring standpoint or from a storytelling standpoint, to be, in the contention for match of the year. It was another good show, man. Like you said, it's crazy to think that we're in an era where not only is WWE, entering that WrestleMania phase where everybody, no matter what you're a wrestling fan, I guarantee you're probably watching WrestleMania. I mean, this is what we all grew up on. This is what we know. And the fact that we have another company that's putting on such great shows, and they're about to, start with Ring of Honor and do whatever they end up doing with that, which we obviously don't know, but I keep tweeting about it, but it really is just fun to be a wrestling fan right now. Like, this is the time that I think, you got to experience the Attitude Era and all of that, and the, two companies going back and forth, and even throwing in an ECW like that. I mean, that's kind of comparative to what we had with New Japan or even Impact. It's just, this is what I've been waiting for, man. This is the Monday Night Wars for people my age, in the sense that aren't, it obviously is not on the same day, but it's just so cool to see, like, the competition, and even, looking on the, not even on the TV. I mean, WWE, we were just talking about 2K22 just came out. We know the AEW game's coming out soon. I mean, it's just fun to be a wrestling fan right now.
Tommy, how does the show name Monday Night Dynamite sound to you?
Monday Night Dynamite. I like that, man. I would, if AEW ever did it, WWE would be in for a world of hurt, man. I mean, we may be seeing Raw move to Wednesday nights or something. That would be WWE'd have to pick it up, especially with what they showed on.
If any of the guys would like the idea of a Monday Night Dynamite,
show it in the comments.
Dynamite, show it in the comments. I want to know your opinion, because we're just throwing ideas out there.
Hey, man, I mean, we'll do a Monday Night Aftermath if we need to.
I heard there were fans complaining about Orlando, the arena itself. First off, it didn't seem like a hot crowd. I heard a lot of arena complaints about the food lines to get food, the lines to use the bathroom.
Oh, boo-hoo.
I'm thinking to myself, what is this, Camping World?
Yeah, come on. You're paying for an experience. Get over yourself.
I'll tell you, though, the fans, that Orlando crowd did not seem into it until, like, later as the night went on.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know why Orlando got the pay-per-view, to be honest with you. I just don't know.
And I think that's partially, honestly, like, I think that has to do with WWE kind of being how it's there with the Performance Center. Like,
for sure, there's a market there.
It's tough. I mean, next week we're seeing Raw in Jacksonville. There's a potential for Cody Rhodes to show up, in the home of AEW. I'm sure that there will be a lot of AEW fans there, whether they want to admit it or not. Like, it's a. As stupid as it sounds, it is a war, man. We're two companies that are going at it and kind of trying to, whether it's attract that 18 to 49 demographic or attract the entire, everybody from kids to old age. I mean, that's there's something for everybody here in wrestling, and I think that is kind of the whole thing, is that. It's just fun, man. Like, we're having a good time and being wrestling fans, and obviously we're getting into the best part of the year. I mean, this is WrestleMania season. We're doing a whole episode on AEW. That's how you know that we're having a fun time.
It's a busy season. I'm considering just doing a show on Monday night. Just a quick Monday night banger, really quick, just because there's so much to go over.
Yeah.
But anyhow, let's get into it. Revolution. Pretty decent pay-per-view for sure.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair rating. I think it's still, the fact that AEW is still so young and they're putting on such great shows. I mean, I think this is a top 5, top 7, maybe AEW pay-per-view. And that's, there's not a lot, but that's still saying something. This is still a good show, man. There's some good stuff on this show.
No, for sure. And especially the fallout. I can't wait to talk about the fallout from Dynamite. But we're going to buzz to the pay-per-view really quick. Without discussing too much of Dynamite just yet, Eddie versus Jericho. We see Eddie Kingston comes to the ring quickly. The bell rings. Eddie comes in, and immediately that match starts off right away with the suplex on Jericho. Jericho, you could tell he probably suffered like a little stinger. He hurt his neck there because he landed awkward, but managed to roll through it. So not anything like what happened to Big E tonight. Reports tonight where Big E broke his neck from outside a belly-to-belly suplex. One of our buddies right now that's watching, Mike Mazza, sent me the video.
Hey man, just a kind of word of warning.
How do you mess that up?
If you're thinking of tagging Rich Holland, or anything on Twitter, man, don't. I'm sure that this man is feeling absolutely terrible.
I don't really know who's at fault. I have to watch it.
It's a freak act. Whoever is at fault, don't be going out on Twitter and tagging this man.
But you gotta know, like, accidents do happen.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's like
it can happen anytime.
We're fans of a physical sport that is very demanding.
There's sometimes actually more of a chance to get hurt in a WWE ring than a UFC ring.
Yep. And sometimes, as sad as it is,
unless you take too many punches
to the extreme, we've obviously as wrestling fans seen people, lose their lives off stuff or lose their will to even walk or anything like that with, draws or anything. But it's a tough business, man. And prayers out to Big E. We hope that he's okay. And obviously, he sent out some good spirits on his Twitter account recently. But hey, man, please don't be attacking Rich Holland, man. No. I'm sure he's already feeling the guilt and everything from that.
Yeah. Eddie and Jericho in this match really gave the best of each other. Sure. We see Jericho exposing the turnbuckle, kind of heelish move there, and that's kind of like a little indication of what's to come.
Tease right there.
Little tease, and I think the announcers made note of it. I didn't catch on to it, but whatever. It's Jericho. Eddie Kingston spinning back first, almost gets the pinfall. Kingston kicks out of the code breaker. We see Kingston run into the code breaker. Jericho doing everything that he can to win, pulling off some moves, and then Kingston finally beats Jericho with a stretch palm submission. And Jericho leaves the ring without shaking Eddie Kingston's hand, which leads to Wednesday night's Dynamite, which we'll get to in a couple of moments. Hey, do we have an Aftermath visitor?
We got a visitor, man. This is Moose.
Yo, we got Aftermath Moose in the house.
Hey, buddy.
Look at this guy.
He wants to say hi.
Oh, Moose. We got Aftermath Moose.
Moose is the official sponsor of the Aftermath.
So, moving on, we got the AEW tag titles, the Young Bucks versus Red Dragon versus Jurassic Express. Really good match here. Red Dragon, multiple pinfall attempts. O'Reilly breaks up a BTE pinfall attempt. We see Jurassic Express get the win, which is no surprise considering Jurassic Express basically just won the titles. Not even 2 months ago. I feel like they have plenty of legs under their tag team title run if they do this right. I'm expecting Jurassic Express to keep this at least until Double or Nothing for the tag titles.
I'll be honest, man.
I would say January to May is not a bad title run for these guys.
I honestly thought Red Dragon was going to get the win here, man.
I agree
with you.
And I thought Red Dragon was gonna get the win too, and then tie into other things later on. But that didn't happen.
I love Jurassic Express, but man, they just haven't really been defending the titles. Like it just kind of seems like they've been an afterthought since they've won the tag titles. But yeah, man, it was good to see them win this match. And I mean, what a hell of a match. I mean, these three teams. I mean, you could go into it expecting that these three teams were going to put on a show, and they sure did. I mean, honestly, the first three matches of this show really set it for me. I didn't get to watch it till Doggo Moose, yes sir. Moose, you going to AEW, little buddy? He's excited, man.
Moose is all elite.
He's ready. He's all elite. What do you think, Moose? Can I?
You're gonna have to make a picture of Moose and then crop it into the all elite.
Put it into the exactly. Moose is all elite, man. He's looking at me. He's pretty
Everybody's
confused.
All Elite.
He's pretty confused, but he knows.
Everybody
what's
under
going
the
on.
sun is All Elite.
Exactly.
Oh man,
Good boy. Hey buddy.
Yeah, no, it was a good words match. Face of the Revolution ladder match. Christian Cage versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks versus Wardlow, Keith Lee, and Orange Cassidy. We see Wardlow push Lee and Hobbs off the stage, and they go through the table, so that kind of knocks them two out of the match. Wardlow's looking good at this point. Danhausen does the curse.
Danhausen,
I believe it was Ricky Starks. And then the ending of that, oh man, the ending, Wardlow, that kind of would have made Wardlow a little more right there. I mean, he's almost pretty much a made man, just about. Yeah. But we see Wardlow going for the power bomb, and Ricky Starks kind of slipped out. So Wardlow didn't really get that. Wardlow didn't get that full power bomb off like the way he wanted to. That ladder probably should have broke. So you knew that was a messed up ending right there, for sure.
But I mean, that doesn't take away from the match, man. I mean, Wardlow. Let's just talk about it, man. I mean, Wardlow is over, and I think
he's momentum right now, and AEW's got to roll with it. I mean,
next week, man, we'll have to talk about it. St. Patrick's Day Slam. I mean, this is going to be an interesting matchup with how it goes. I mean, Scorpio Sky versus who just won the title, who's in his own right, I'd say, is pretty over, and obviously is well deserving of this title. Let's just put it out there. Scorpio Sky has been one of the most consistent members of the AEW roster. He's going up against Wardlow next week. I mean, who wins? Do you take the title off of Scorpio Sky that quick? Do you build the momentum? Do you have a little interference to where, in some way, you keep that title on Scorpio? This is going to be a fun week for AEW next week on St. Patrick's Day Slam.
I think where they want to go to, and I'm not too sure if a title is going to be involved yet. I'll give you my opinion on that in just a little while. But I want to believe where they're looking to go to is Wardlow versus MJF at Double or Nothing.
Yes. For the TNT title. Why not?
Yeah,
why not put it on that? I mean, like that's got to make sense. For sure. I don't know if it would be for TNT title, but it could make sense to do it there. Just to have a little something on the line. Yeah.
And I'm gonna be there in Vegas, baby. I'm gonna be there.
I'm so jealous, man. I wish I could be there. I'll be at the Indy 500, man. It'll be we'll both be having a good
moment. Well, I'm at AEW this weekend. You're gonna be at the Indy 500 and watching the cars spin around. This is gonna be a head all weekend.
Yeah, man. And guess what? I'm sure we'll still find a way to do a podcast right after, on Monday or whatever. It'll be we're like you said, man. We're the hardest working podcast
from Las Vegas. I'm gonna have the Las Vegas Strip behind me. How about that? We're gonna go live from the streets of Vegas with the podcast.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're looking forward.
We did it in Chicago. So, anyhow, so Wardlow's grabbed the brass ring in more ways than one. I mean, he's grabbing the brass rings and getting the acceptance of the fans. He's got charisma. He showed on Dynamite. He could talk a little bit. I see something. He kind of reminds me of somebody that would be the son of Adam Bomb. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see, obviously a little bit better in the ring, and
definitely better in the ring. But like you said, the offspring of Adam Bomb.
Yeah, I can see that. I think he's got the size and he's got the look. I mean, let's put it out there. I think you kind of mentioned it. That promo on Wednesday was it's pretty good, man. I mean, if you needed a any indication that Wardlow could talk, I mean, he did pretty damn good on Wednesday.
AEW signs Shane Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, man. What a signing, man. That's big.
I kind of like his name better as Isaiah Swerve Scott. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But they get the Swerve.
It's crazy to think that
look and the charisma that he came out with in NXT.
Isn't it crazy to think that Hit Row was, on our TVs at the beginning of the year, and now none of them are? And
bring them all in. Bring them all in.
Really, man. I mean, like, they had so much potential, and that's the only thing is I was talking to a buddy from the podcast, Justin. We were talking about it, man. Like, you just hope that these guys don't get lost in the shuffle, and maybe with Ring of Honor, that kind of will eliminate that fact. But Isaiah Swerve Scott, Swerve Strickland, whatever you want to call him. I mean, the dude's got talent to be a number one star, and I will fully stand behind that. I think he's got the charisma, he's got the look, he's got the in-ring work. But where does he fit on that card if he's not, if there isn't, I don't know, man. They're bringing in Jeff Hardy. We just saw on Wednesday night, like, there's a lot of people there. They really need to use that Ring of Honor purchase and use it to the fullest extent and kind of, I don't want to say brand split, because obviously you don't want to do what WWE's been doing, but you need to kind of, balance out the roster here.
TBS title, Jade Cargill versus Ty Conte.
Who cares?
Hey, listen, Jade Conte, I've been telling everybody, she looks like a star. She's
really good, really good.
She's got the look. She looks great with the belt. She's got a little charisma going on. Sometimes she can talk. Sometimes she really needs her mouth.
Well, now they're
manager there.
Now they're.
But then the bell rings, and then there's the problem. But Ty Conti did as best as she can to carry Jade Cargill. I don't believe they messed up any spots.
Yeah,
this is actually. I'm not saying that this was a good match by any means. But
C+,
this was
that's what I'll give
Jade Cargill's best outing so far.
Which
and they're pushing her like Goldberg. She ain't gonna lose that TBS Women's title anytime soon.
Nope. Which puts a lot of let's give some credit to Ty Conti. I think them bringing to the point of her and Sammy Guevara being a couple together on TV. I think that's a good move. But yeah. It's tough, man. Jade Cargill, you can tell that she's still pretty green in the ring, and it's unfair of me to knock her for that, but also, like, I'm not the biggest fan of hers. It's just kind of like the same thing with Charlotte on WWE. Like, I'm just there's a little bit of that Roman Reigns, John Cena syndrome where you're pushing somebody to the extent of where it's getting annoying almost, and.
Well, I'm not at that point yet. I'm not at that point yet. I think Charlotte is the one I'm more.
Oh, don't even get started on that.
Yeah. So Jade Cargill's not. I wouldn't call her Jade Cargill Reigns just yet.
Okay, fair enough. But let's just all know
she's just learning right now.
As we've admitted on the podcast, Tommy is not the biggest fan of Charlotte Flair. So let it be known. But. Yeah, man. I thought this match was a C+. I thought, like you said, I thought this was Jade's best outing. Ty Conti continues to show that WWE really made a bad decision in letting her go from NXT. I think she's done wonders since she's been to AEW, and she's had some pretty high profile matches, man. She's been in a lot of AEW title matches or been in a top profile feud almost. Excuse me. She's got the stuff, man, and I think I kind of compare her to Liv Morgan, where when she gets that moment to where she surpasses everything and gets over the hump, I think that the fans will go crazy for it. But I can't say that she's there yet. I hope that she's a mainstay in the AEW women's roster. I think we're looking at I think obviously with St. Patrick's Day Slam coming up. We know the card a little bit now after we watch Rampage. There's got to be a way that Thunder Rosa beats.
Oh, don't get you way ahead of us now.
Oh yeah. But we'll get into it. But Ty Conti is she's a solid performer. I think she'll be a future AEW Women's World Champion. But hey, man, I'll give it a C+ on this match.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be. I think she just needs a little bit of a time.
Yeah.
So to speak. She definitely needs the time to grow. She's definitely made a lot of progress. She's only been in AEW for just a little over a year now.
Year?
If that. And in the time that she's been with AEW, she's made a lot of progress. And also in the interim, she needs to continue to work on her character too as well.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't make her into the character of she's just Sammy Guevara's girlfriend, because that would be kind of stupid.
We'll see.
Yeah, man.
Maybe being Sammy Guevara's girlfriend will help her get pushed a little more.
Hey, man. Hey, yeah. You never know.
We'll see. So the way the match ends, Conte hits her head in the corner. Jade Cargill capitalizes with hits the Jaded on Ty Conte. And that is how that match ends. Like I said, Jade has got a great look. She's almost a total package, but she's got to work on her in ring. And then if she gets that down, there's the potential of a big woman star there for sure. But that's going to take time. CM Punk versus MJF, the match we have all been looking for. Couple cool spots that I liked. We see Punk coming out to his original Ring of Honor music by AFI Mysteria Cantare.
Don't you worry, man.
I noticed it right away. I knew right away it was his art. Oh man.
You know, I got the white and the black version of CM Punk. Best in the world, man. My favorite wrestler of all time.
My buddy next to me looked it up as we were watching AEW Revolution together. We looked it up, and I was curious who did the song. But I knew I heard that song many times play at ROH shows when watching CM Punk, coming out. And and he says it's the highlight of the night. Well, that is some people's highlight of the night. You're probably not the only one.
Sure is mine.
It was cool, but had the arena. So I'm listening for the arena, and the arena was quiet. Like, what's happening here? Like, I guarantee you 80-90% of the arena did not even know what that song was or what was even happening. If you go back and watch and listen how quiet it was, like you heard people cheering, but like that sounded like maybe like a 10% crowd.
It's tough.
No, nobody knew who it was.
It's really tough because
because most of your AEW fans now were like anything after like 2008, 2009, CM Punk.
AEW is starting to attract that lower demographic of people who want kids younger than me. I mean, like, but also in this exactly, Michael. Yes, sir. But also in the same vein, like, as a hardcore wrestling fan and someone that is
and listen, that's okay if you didn't know what the crowd was. Because he used this song almost 20 years ago. Like I'm talking 18, 19 years ago, and he only used it. He used it for maybe like 4 or 5 years. It would have not been any more than that because then he entered ECW. WWE,
correct?
In 2006.
And I mean,
we're going back a long time ago, D-Star. So like, it's not a fault. It's definitely not a fault to the fans.
Correct.
It just goes to show the longevity of how long Punk has been around now for.
AEW is tapping into that, for people like me and for people like you, like that hardcore wrestling fan.
But
like, who knows stuff like that.
My point is, like, anybody who's in their 30s will definitely know who that is.
Correct.
It's gonna be hard for someone in their 20s to really know, because when ROH was around with CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Punk, I mean, whoever's in their 20s now, we're all in the single digits.
Correct.
Barely.
Correct. And like, even for me, like I was in that age. I mean, 2003, I was 5 years old, man. I didn't know what was going on, and obviously, like, I'm a little bit of a wrestling historian myself, pump my hair, but I enjoy ROH. I enjoy everything that's kind of the indie fan, and I'm a hardcore fan, and I think that AEW kind of taps into that, but also you can't be leaving out people like, obviously we saw at the crowd, like a lot of people didn't know who that was, like what that entrance music was, and so it's a balancing act, I think, but I appreciated the look. I appreciated the music, and let me tell you, man, from a storytelling perspective, I think this is one of the best matches I've ever seen. That's biased as hell because I'm a CM Punk fan. Let's just admit that.
From a storytelling, this is
let's just admit that. But man, did I love this match. It was brutal. It didn't have a lot of that high spot, the flippy shit as we call it and all that, but it was just fun, man. Like I love CM Punk. I think MJF, if you don't think he's the best heel in wrestling right now, and that's saying something with Roman Reigns is doing on WWE, but gosh, I mean, this match there was so much history and being able to tell a story. I mean, let's go back to what they were doing at Thanksgiving, man. I mean, that as stupid as it sounds, that was 5 months ago. I mean, we're talking about a story that's been building for a good bit, and I think that the animosity between the two really showed. And I mean, a dog collar match. What we've seen, this is the third high-profile dog collar match I think you can really kind of go off of. Obviously, Ring of Honor had one with him and Raven, but Ring of Honor wasn't that over at the time. I mean, you look at Greg Valentine and Roddy Piper from 1979. You look at Brody Lee versus Cody Rhodes from last year. And now we have this. I mean, this is not a match type that you see, and I think it's something that is really used for these, as stupid as it sounds, blood feuds. And this was a blood feud. These two kind of just went at it for a good 20 minutes, man. And I really, really enjoyed this match. Right now, it's up there in my top 3 matches of the year. So I mean, it's tough to go against it, man.
Wow,
what a great
top
match.
3. Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of this. I'm a really big fan of this. This is a little biased, but
so let's dig a little deeper into the match before we move on. We see Punk tease the Pepsi plunge, but MJF escaped. Then goes for the suplex, and Punk gets it on the thumbtacks. So he's getting thumbtacked all over the place. His back is now a cushion pad at that point. MJF calls for Wardlow. Wardlow comes out. Wardlow doesn't have the ring. He can't find it. Then behind MJF's back, Punk sees it. Wardlow suddenly finds the ring in a different pocket, lays it down on the ring, nodding towards CM Punk. CM Punk takes it. Punk knocks out MJF with the ring and wins. So little storytelling about the AEW ring on the finger.
Yeah.
I mean, these little nuances
AEW
gets.
You set up Wardlow versus MJF.
Now you've definitely set that up. I have a feeling there might be a couple hurdles in between where MJF is going to have to square away some business with Shawn Spears. So this is definitely going to escalate a little more, for sure. Women's title, and we'll get back to Wardlow in a little bit. The women's title, Britt Baker defended against Thunder Rosa. And we saw some people didn't really think this match was that great. Britt Baker gets the win here. Hater and Rebel interfered, of course. Tommy, didn't I tell you last week that somehow like Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa was going to escalate towards a cage? Didn't I tell you?
Yeah, you did, man. You called it.
Didn't I tell you if there's interference that this is going into a cage match?
I will admit, I was against it. I thought that we would see a Thunder Rosa get the win. I'm pretty sure I predicted that here, but I mean, she's got to win. She's got to win next week. I mean, like, come on. Like, there's got to be a new women's champion next week. Like, there just has to be.
Dave Smith, favorite match was the
CM
Punk
MJF. Hey, Dave, we might share the Smith name, but I can see we share a good wrestling mind together.
Mike Mazza says the show was excellent. My only gripe would be that it could have had a few minutes shaved off. I mean, we could talk about the pay-per-view lengths. You know what it is. You're just limited on time. And they only do five pay-per-views.
It's
a
tough,
year.
And that's the thing is like
it's
when you
tough.
have
They're gonna
when you
find
have
their
that
niche,
3-month when you have that 3-month like span of where you're trying to tell as much stories, like in a sense, like those 4-hour shows are almost like they're kind of needed. You need to be able to wrap up 3-4 months of stories. So.
Oh, Dave, I knew you knew that song because we went to quite a few Ring of Honor events earlier on. Oh, boy. So Britt Baker gets the win. We'll capitalize on that in a few moments. Mox versus Daniel Bryan. What a bloodbath that we saw in the early outing of the match. Very stiff. Even matchup back and forth. And then we see Daniel Bryan get the quick roll-up surprise win on Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
And then they go at it. See, Daniel Bryan and Jon Moxley are beating the living daylights out of each other. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is great. This feud ain't anytime soon. And then out comes William Regal. And let me tell you, he got the pop of the night. I popped out of my chair.
I did, yes. I was not expecting it.
I love the work he has done in NXT. And let me tell you, the work that he's about to do in AEW, it's going to be something else. As you know, it looks like now he's going to be playing the on camera role as like a managerial, so to speak, with Mox and Bryan Danielson. But you also know that Regal is going to be a mentor to not only the wrestlers that are there, but I feel William Regal has an opportunity to be a mentor to the bookers.
Yeah.
Of how to book shows and what have you. I would love to see Tony Khan place William Regal at some point, maybe not right away, but place William Regal as to give him the new role that he had in NXT as the AEW general manager.
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be freaking cool. I know William Regal is the best general manager that WWE's ever put on TV, and I would even go as far as saying right up there with Jack Tunney, if not better.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
See, Jack Tunney, I mean, you didn't really see him as often, but when he was there, he was good. It's just that WWE didn't have a whole lot of, time. He wasn't on TV every week.
At that time, WWE wasn't as, how do I say it? Diving into the TV aspect of everything. So Jack Tunney didn't need to be on TV as much, with the invention of Raw, like we saw with, like Bischoff and everybody there, like Teddy Long on SmackDown and all that. So yeah. I agree. I think President Jack Tunney was pretty darn good.
Then we get so we got William Regal. Then we had the Tornadoes Trios match: Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara versus Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy. So we see Marquis Quinn. Pretty good match here. Blade and Butcher get involved. Sammy with the Spanish Fly versus on Quinn. On the ramp, which I thought was pretty cool there. And then we see Sting jumping off the top of the entrance on Andrade through the tables. Like, what is this? I popped out of my chair too for that.
Probably the best spot of the night, honestly.
60 years old, jumping off of, I would say, best spot.
It's up most unexpected.
Yes. I think that caught me. Like let's just say I popped more for this Sting spot, just knowing that this guy is 61 years old, going through tables and put on drive through tables and stuff. I thought it was a pretty cool visual.
Yeah,
and I wasn't expecting it. Was not expecting that. We see the Scorpion death drop on Matt Hardy through the chair. And then we see Darby get the win, picking up the win for the team. And that pretty much closes out the trios match. So that was a pretty wild night there for those guys. Then we get Adam Cole, baby.
Rocking the Halo gear, man. I love that. Adam
Page. Yeah, that was pretty cool. A pretty cool outfit there. we see Red Dragon come out to distract. Adam Cole does the Panama Sunrise onto the outside. Adam Cole with low blow as usual, followed by another Panama Sunrise, then the boom, and Adam Page just looks strong here, kicking out of everything. Red Dragon sets up a table, which Page ends up putting the Deadeye on Adam Cole through the table, so that was a pretty cool spot there. We saw a little something interesting, like with Adam Page. I don't know if you caught this, but Dark Order, just a little quick dissension, like Adam Cole just kind of like resisting, like, what are you guys doing here, kind of thing. So there's a little dissension there, like Adam Page maybe snapping at them or something. But the Dark Order checking in on the champ. Dark Order and Red Dragon go at it. Everyone leaves. Page hits the buckshot lariats. Only the 2 count, and then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Adam Cole may actually have a chance here.
Yeah.
Like this is getting crazy. Like we're getting to the ending now, and I know it. Cole gets his fingers on the rope, so he kicks out of that. And then we see Page with a boom followed by a buckshot lariat for the win. So these guys really went at it. They meshed very well together. Great match. What did you think of the match overall? I think Adam Cole, in my opinion, will still be the guy to take the title off of Page. But I think this is just the first of maybe a couple matches. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that this feud is going to continue, and I think. I mean, unless if you throw Punk in there, I think Adam Cole is kind of the next, like you said, the next step in being the AEW champion. I mean, he's obviously over. I mean, he's kind of the biggest guy in WWE or WWE in AEW. I think I mean, it's tough, man. Maybe it's just from the way I look at the way the fans react and everything with the theme song, but. I really do agree. I think Adam is the next. Adam Cole is the next champion.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not 100% sure when Kenny Omega is coming back. I think we could see him in 2022. And I think you just got that weird dynamic. Yeah, you just got that dynamic of like who's Adam Cole. I think when everything's all said and done, will remain in line with Red Dragon. Yeah. Kenny Omega probably with the Bucks, and then maybe you can see those 3-on-3 teams go at it. But I'm not too sure what's happening there right now. But anyway, on to Dynamite.
Man, yeah, we had a good show on Dynamite, man. Good show. Which is saying something, because Dynamite's been pretty good, obviously, for the last few years, for the last few weeks, I should say.
Yeah, I feel like Dynamite had a great showing for sure. But let's talk about it. But before we do, for those of you guys that are watching, make sure you share this with your friends. Make sure you're subscribed. We've had a number of viewers tonight so far. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you share this. Sharon is Karen.
Sharon is Karen, man.
So
Sharon
make sure you share this. Share this.
It's midnight here, man. Come on, give us a little break, man. You gotta
just tell your friends to subscribe. Just tell your friends to subscribe.
Yeah.
Tell them we're live. Join in on the conversation. But anyhow. Dynamite gave us a lot to talk about. I think even more so than AEW Revolution.
I agree.
I think this may have been AEW's best Fallout show yet.
This is
Fallout
up there
show from the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, even the setup show. I think this is one of the better weeks of AEW that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
like from a consistent standpoint of what set up the pay-per-view itself, and like you said, I mean the fallout. I mean it was a really good week of AEW. Excuse me.
So we see the turning of Chris Jericho forming the Jericho Appreciation Society.
The Jericho Appreciation Society.
That's what it's called.
What a name, man. So yeah. You did.
Okay.
The Jazz.
Right. Yeah, the Jazz. The Yas.
The Yas Queen.
Jericho's not going to call it the Yas. Me and the Yas.
Hey, you know that Jericho though will get Yas over, man. I mean, he got a damn clipboard over, so he'll probably do his damnedest to get it over.
Some people were like cracking down on it.
No, man, I like.
I'm like, listen, if he can get the word "it" over
exactly
and list, he'll find some way to get this over. Like, even if it's acronyms, he'll find a way to get it over.
I mean, Jericho looks great. Obviously, he's lost a lot of weight, but I mean, let's talk about the run of what we saw with the Inner Circle. I mean, it kind of sad to see them come to an end. But I think they had.
I thought maybe Santana and Ortiz were going to be involved in this final breakup.
I still think that they had one of the better group stages, let's say. I think that we've seen in a long time. I think the Inner Circle is one of the better stables, in the last 15 years. I mean, they've done
it's had about almost a 2-year run.
Stadium Stampede matches. We saw Blood and Guts matches. I mean, they've been in some high profile stuff, and they've been kind of near the top of the card or top of the upper mid card, for their entire run. So, it's sad to see them come to an end, but I like the Jericho Appreciation Society. Obviously, until Jericho gets turned on. I mean, it's obviously going to be, what happens here.
I don't know about that. I don't see Jericho getting turned on here.
Okay.
At all. I don't see that coming. I think these guys are in it for a while. Maybe down the road. Maybe like let's talk maybe like a year down the road or something. But
fair enough. Yeah. I think the name will be changed.
The Yas.
The Yas Queen. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was surprising though, that turn that we got. That surprised me in a way. 2.0, Daniel Garcia. So now we got them, the 5 of them, and now Jericho Appreciation Society, Inner Circle no more. Hager, of course, Hager following Jericho's coattails. Sammy Guevara, he was still wearing. He didn't show up on Rampage tonight, so no. I think he may have still been wearing the Inner Circle vest on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. He was definitely wearing it on Sunday. I know that.
Correct.
He may have been wearing it on Wednesday. So we'll see where Sammy Guevara stands. I would imagine Eddie Kingston and Santana Ortiz are going to stay together and seek revenge, and maybe Sammy Guevara gets in on it. I don't know. But then we see the main event, Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky. Scorpio defeats Sammy, and Scorpio Sky gets the win there with outside interference. Dan Lampert getting on the ring apron, and Ethan Page getting on the ring apron. Then we see Ty Conti knocking Ethan Page off, and then what's that girl's name from the background?
Paige Van Zandt.
Yep, and knocking Ty Conti
the
down.
new AEW signee.
She's now
former UFC
elite
fighter herself.
Yeah. Mike Mazza says, what I learned from the Dynamite, if your brother is going to get beat up, you have to dance before you
exactly. You got to
get to that.
You got to do. You're damn right. That was one of the better moments of the entire show, man. I mean, Jeff Hardy didn't give a shit.
There was so much going on this show.
There really was, man. I mean, the fact that Jeff Hardy's kind of debut was overshadowed in a sense. I mean,
yes and no. We're going to get to that in a second. Is there anything else that we have to talk about as far as
from Dynamite? No,
just involving Sammy and Scorpio.
No, I mean, it'll be good. Like I said,
we'll probably see Ty Conti out there a lot more often with Sammy Guevara.
Yeah. They kind of hinted at obviously like their real relationship. I mentioned it earlier, man. I'm interested to see what they do with Scorpio and Wardlow next week at St. Patrick's Day Slam. I mean, this is going to be an interesting one. I mean, is Scorpio a transitional champion? Is is Wardlow the guy right now, or do you do some interference with Dan Lambert and Ethan Page? I mean, there's a lot of there's a title being changed next week. Let's just call that right now.
Oh, that's happening.
Whether the women's or it's the TNT title, is being changed next week.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Maybe both. Maybe both.
Yeah. We have AHFO, or should we just say AFO?
AFO, yeah.
They turn on Matt Hardy. They got voted out. Matt Hardy got voted out, that is. And they start beating up on him. And then the return of Jeff Hardy with the original Hardy Boy music, which surprised the crap out of me. I didn't realize that they owned it. The Hardy Boys own that. So, but that was pretty freaking cool to hear a song always played on WWE TV and its exact tune and everything played on AEW. That threw me off for a second. But I knew it was Jeff Hardy out the bat. He's doing his dancing thing while Matt Hardy's getting his butt kicked in the ring.
You're damn right, man. Hey, that's the
Matt
Jeff
Hardy's
Hardy way,
getting
man.
his butt kicked.
He's still going, man. He's got to get the hype. He's got to get it hype, bro. Then he'll make his way to the ring.
Oh man,
Moose is even getting into it, right? Moose,
yeah. Moose is getting those hands up in the air.
AEW confused, man. AEW confirmed.
So yeah, Jeff Hardy, and that was just a great moment to see Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy return. And Jeff Hardy is just so over. He was even over on SmackDown on WWE TV on SmackDown. He was so over.
Yeah,
he got the loudest pops out of everybody, even louder than Reigns sometimes. Biggest fan friendly pop out of anybody on Friday nights, and a huge pop today. Yeah, even on Wednesday, and even today, we'll get to that in a second. But we see Hangman with another title defense against Dante Martin, which was great, and I love the fact that Hangman brought Dante Martin, told him to get himself back in the ring, just giving him props, and Hangman acknowledging everything that Dante Martin has gone through over the past year of not having a tag team title, and then going through singles competition. So I thought that was a great segment there. Dante Martin, definitely a huge part of AEW future for sure. I love watching him in the ring.
Do you think he's
Hangman with
a
the
future
win.
champion?
He's a future champion, but not for a long time.
Yeah, okay, I can get behind that.
Not for a long time. I don't see it. I don't see it for a couple of years. I feel like a couple names got to get out of the way first.
Do you think he has
like you CM Punks, your Daniel Bryans, your
the Jungle Boys,
Coles, like the big names got to be gone. Because there's gonna come a point in time where your four pillars are actually gonna be the ones, the big draws of AEW. Yeah, MJF, Sammy Guevara, Britt Baker. Dante Martin is going to be a big name. There's going to be a certain Jungle Boy.
That's what I'm saying.
That's going to be that's going to be some part of your main event core within the next 5 years or so.
Like, do you think he kind of has that Jungle Boy syndrome to where it's like, he's got the star in him and he's going to be over, but it's obviously not his time for a few years.
He's just so good in the ring, and I feel like he's ahead of his years.
And it's tough because obviously
Dante Martin comes off as like a little boy to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean,
he looks like he's a kid in there, but he's so good. He's ahead of his years right now.
That's the thing is his brother
he's going to have a good long career.
His brother's so good, and the fact that he had to take a year off for his his ACL injury and now coming back. I mean, we saw him in the Casino Battle Royal kind of have a really good showing against the Young Bucks there for a good 5 or so minutes. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Dante Martin is definitely the future.
Anyway, and then we had let's see, what else we had on Dynamite? Daniel Bryan and Moxley had their first tag match together. They defeated the Workhorsemen.
The Workhorsemen.
Specify the Workhorsemen,
not the Horsemen.
JD, not the Horsemen. JD Drake and Anthony Henry. Good little 5-minute out, and JD Drake is pretty awesome. Everybody's high on him, but again, like if he were to go to NWA, he'd be much higher in the card. He's
Correct.
Just another guy that's going to get lost in the shuffle, but he'll always be a good hand in AEW for sure.
Hey, I mean, somebody's got to fill the role, and if it's JD Drake, I think that's a good person to have in that spot.
Thunder Rosa defeats Layla Hurst to earn the right to have another match against Britt Baker. I predicted this about a week ago as a possible scenario because I thought there was a chance that Britt Baker was could have lost.
Yeah,
but then now we come to find out that next week's Dynamite, or should I say, 4 days from now,
St. Patrick's Day Slam.
St. Patrick's Day Slam.
Hey man, I love that Dynamite like pay-per-view style shows. I think those they make it a lot more fun and make it more almost appointment television, as they say. I mean it's something that I don't want to miss because it feels like a pay-per-view.
Guess where it's from? Guess where it's from?
New York.
Guess where Dynamite's going to be?
New York?
No. In San Antonio, Texas.
Ooh, in Texas.
The home of Thunder Rosa.
She's winning.
It's in a cage. She is definitely walking out with the title. That's our prediction. I'm standing right by that. I'm like 99.99% sure.
You and me both, man. You and me both.
Because AEW, I tend with their booking tends to try to keep you on your toes a little bit. But maybe we have Hornswoggle. He could show up. He could show up. I didn't even think of that. I'm just like remind him. Like I'm just remembering. Like wait a minute, he had an Irish gimmick, an Irish midget with the. Oh man, you never know.
Is that a real comment? Like is that a real
That's
thing
a real comment, and that is that St. Patrick's Day. Why not?
Stop it.
That'd be great. The crowd would pop.
Michael.
He may not be able to use the same name, but he could use the same outfit.
If Hornswoggle shows up, I will publicly apologize on this show next week because that's just not happening. There's no way.
I got proof. I tried to get Hornswoggle on the show. I have email proof right now. I can pull it up, but I really can't give away wrestlers' addresses and whatever I own, but that wouldn't be good. But I tried reaching out to Hornswoggle to get him on our show, and no response. I don't know what he's doing. Me and him, we had a conversation once in St. James at one of the wrestling shows, Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore, and he gave me his email address, and I reached out to him, tried to get him on, maybe one day. I'll pitch it again. We'll see what happens. Because we have a 2nd year anniversary coming up. Oh, by the way, I just reached out to Chris Van Vliet today.
Hey, yes, we'd love to have Chris back on, man.
Yeah, he's going to do a couple cameos for us. And
hey, all right, man.
Also, I purposely put in there that we will be in LA.
We owe him a beer, man. We owe him a beer.
And I told him we keep him posted on that. And so I'm gonna try to keep that connection going on. His birthday is May 19th, the day of Kane's the Kane's movie release. So we make sure to wish him a happy birthday then too. Yes. Keep that connection going. But moving on. Just about coming into landing here, and then we'll briefly discuss any WWE stuff and then shoot the breeze, whatever we got going on here. But I'll run through it very fast. Rampage Darby defeats Mark Quinn in a very, very good match. Great opening match. Darby gets the win there. AFO comes out and Darby and Sting. Sting's out there ringside. And at this point, Darby Allin and Sting are in the ring celebrating the win, and AFO comes out. Darby and Sting are like momentarily threatened until the Hardy Boys music hits tonight. See Matt and Jeff music coming out. Yep, they came out.
And they just stand there, man. They just
tonight.
Stood there.
They just stood there, and AFO did nothing, and that's how that ended. So I believe we're going to get AFO versus Hardys and Sting and Darby Allin. I would expect that probably very soon.
Maybe we'll get
we'll get that. Maybe I think we'll get that maybe Wednesday. Maybe
I'd love to see that in a Stadium Stampede match. Honestly, let me see what Sting can do in that.
Well, listen, Stadium Stampede could work great for Sting because it's more of like a brawling type of match.
Yeah, and they do.
You don't need to do high spots.
I think it works.
All right, so
it works.
Now I wanted to save my opinion for this point of the show. We're getting Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship. This is a tough call because Wardlow, for me, it has a lot of momentum right now. I would just pull the trigger and just give him the TNT title.
You have to. I love Scorpio
I think so
Sky,
because you know how many times that like the trigger wasn't pulled on certain wrestlers like Samoa Joe or Braun Strowman. You couldn't do, but they wanted to prolong the program, and then by the time they were cold, and nothing ever happened. So this is a tough call for me. There's a lot of moving parts in this one, to be honest. Like Tommy, me and you are really good at predicting stuff. For those of you guys that are watching, I'd like to hear what you guys would like to say, like what your predictions are for Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, and what your predictions are for Scorpio Sky and Wardlow. I honestly am having trouble calling this one. So I'm
going Wardlow, man.
I want to go Wardlow, but then another. I feel like something's telling me that Scorpio Sky is going to win by interference. Like there's going to be some interference. MJF is probably going to come out, and I think Mike and I are on the same page. MJF interferes, and they start a program.
Yeah,
I think this is the way you do it. MJF would have to interfere here, get involved, and cost Wardlow the match. I would think that. So here's the thing. MJF still can fire Wardlow, or Wardlow quit. Is that what happened on Wednesday, and then Wardlow officially quit?
Correct.
So he basically quit.
Split away from MJF.
So they could do an angle where supposedly, MJF Wardlow has no contract, but he does have the contract for the ring, but whatever. So yeah, I'm not 100% sold on it. I like I'm telling you right now, I'd like to see Wardlow win it because he's on fire. He's hot right now.
Yeah,
but
Scorpio Sky deserves a good run, man. Like that's the problem is that
I do feel like with Scorpio Sky, I feel like that's like almost kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Forced.
Correct. Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of forced right now because very rarely did they tell you that Scorpio Sky had a long streak going.
Yeah, they had. Yeah,
they didn't really even tell you that he almost had a year-long streak without a loss until last week.
Correct.
So I feel like this is something that's kind of like forced and kind of coming out of nowhere. So they're billing this match, title streak on the line. So it's a tough one for me to call, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. Hey man, I want Wardlow to win, but
if you see my little bit, because we got to talk about it obviously, but if you see my facial expressions in the background, I'm watching some baseball highlights a little bit, just do them up in the background. So but yeah, man, I this is really tough. I mean, like you said, Wardlow is really on a streak. Obviously, he's probably the most over in the wrestling business. I think that his, whenever that win comes where he is the next star, I think the crowd is going to pop, like CM Punk debut levels. I really do think that Wardlow has been one of the best builds we've seen in a really long time. And I'm really ready for him to be the next champion and step up and obviously get a win over MJF. But I mean, Scorpio Sky, like I said, he's been one of the most consistent parts of AEW's rosters since they began, going back to even SCU. I mean, I got one of the DVDs from the first pay-per-view they did. I mean, the dude's over, and I think that he's well deserving of this title, and it's tough, man. I really do think we get some interference. As much as I want Wardlow to win, I don't think that Scorpio Sky is the kind of person that can be a transitional champion. I think he's too good to be that, and too good to be somebody who you can just take the title off after a week.
Yeah. Michael Mazza thinks MJF and Wardlow battle. Wardlow comes out on top and gets pushed into AEW title talk, bypassing TNT.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, there other than like an Adam Cole, other than we don't know where Kenny Omega is. I mean, you could always insert Punk.
Correct, and I think Punk
Adam Page has had quite a number of matches now. Where a Wardlow versus Adam Page would be pretty interesting. I would say Chicago.
Wardlow versus Page in Chicago,
maybe. I would give it enough time.
But again, like that's the thing is like, do you pull the trigger on Wardlow? I mean, like I don't want to say they backed themselves into a corner. But you have to wrap up
they didn't bat themselves in the corner. Yeah,
you have to wrap up the MJF feud, but you also have to realize that obviously MJF is or not MJF. Wardlow is one of the top. Yeah, I mean he's one of the top superstars in the business right now, and I think that you have to kind of reward him at some point.
Let's see. Keith Lee will take the title from Scorpio. Maybe I can see that. I can see that. I can see. I could definitely see that. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Have Wardlow and MJF battle it out, and then have Keith Lee finally challenge for that title against Scorpio.
I can see Keith Lee in there. Damn. Okay.
Well, Mike did, and I'm actually agreeing with him because that could make sense. That gets Wardlow away from the TNT title picture because then he would be in the program MJF. So
yeah, hey man, I'm behind it.
They could also do something where MJF and Wardlow fight for the ring for the third year.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping for. Because
I feel like we're a couple months away from the title for the AEW. For the ring, this would be the third year in a row, and MJF's won twice now. Where this could be the third year where Wardlow blocks MJF from winning, and then Wardlow finally wins his own ring, and that would just further escalate the feud a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
there's things you can do here.
There's a lot of
right. Am I right? Are we almost at that point? What do they call that tournament again?
I mean, we've seen MJF kind of hold that diamond ring for a while, and I think that what
was the actual name of the tournament though? I forget.
Of the Diamond Ring tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember, but I know it's there's a reason for MJF losing that diamond ring at some point. Like he's got to lose it to somebody, and I think that Wardlow is the kind of person. Obviously, if he had the ring and threw it on, CM Punk and kind of created that, dissension between the two, I think that maybe he could win it. I think that would be the good point.
And not to mention, pretty soon we have to start talking about the Owen Hart tournament.
Correct. Oh my goodness.
Owen Hart
you almost have to forget that's coming up. I mean,
the Owen Hart tournament starts in early May in the UBS Arena in Nassau County, Long Island, near my hometown, about 40 minutes away, but still as close to my hometown as it's going to get. And I'm actually thinking about going to that.
Hey man, I wouldn't blame you.
About going to that because that's the build to Double or Nothing.
Correct.
You have the Owen Hart, tournament going on there. So that is huge.
Excuse me.
Those tickets are on sale, but that's May 4th at the UBS Arena.
Yeah, man. The tickets for Detroit just went on sale. I'm trying to make my way to that one.
Nice. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers all of AEW right now. I mean, we already talked about next week. We have a big Dynamite next week, St. Patrick's Slam. In the midst of WrestleMania season, like. Again,
is it crazy that we've been going on for an hour and 15 minutes and we're just talking about AEW?
This is not
going
normal.
into WrestleMania.
Yeah, this is not normal. This just goes to show. We're also coming off a pay-per-view week too, but this just goes to show how good AEW's product is doing right now. And we kind of pick our if it's WrestleMania week. Or WWE pay-per-view week, we're WWE week before and week after. Same thing with AEW, but this is the most excited I've been to talk about AEW, to be honest. And that Dynamite just kind of helped out a lot.
Not even how good AEW's been, man. It's just like I said at the beginning of the show, like we're just enjoying wrestling right now, man. I mean, like we're in a good stage where, honestly, I think this is the best wrestling's been in almost, at least since I've been alive. Like I turned 24 in less than a month. I mean, this is
in the sense of having options and having wrestling to turn to like almost every single day.
Yeah,
this is the best wrestling's been.
Yep, I agree.
The best wrestling's been. And Impact's been pretty good. We haven't really talked much about that. I haven't watched in like 2 weeks, but Sean Ross Sapp has been saying Impact's been pretty good. So if he says that, I believe him. I believe almost anything he says.
Yeah.
At this point, Sean Ross Sapp, I'm sure will be at AEW Double or Nothing. I'm hoping to be hanging out with him for a little bit. But yeah, that's 3 months away, and we got a lot to cover.
We got a lot of stuff to do, man. We got at least 10 shows coming up with WrestleMania weekend, man. It's gonna be we're going to be on the grind, man. We're the hardest working podcast in the business, man. We love it.
We really are. There's no denying it. I mean,
it's 12:30 here, man. I'm tired. It's my weekend, but we're still doing it, man. We've been here for an hour and a half almost, and we're killing it, man. I was
thinking about busting out the Grand Theft Auto tonight, and maybe playing a little Mario. Like that's gonna be like my tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
To see Batman, and I don't have to go back to work for another 9 days.
There you go. Hell yeah, man.
Another 9 days or so. So I have another 9 days off to rest.
I got a few more weeks before I get my days off for work.
I am not. I mean, I'm looking forward in a sense. I'm looking forward to going back to work because I love my team. But in the sense of being like captive for 9 hours a day again, what are you gonna do? But
yeah,
what are you gonna do? Excuse me. But yeah, so getting back to your baseball, I do know at this very hour the Boston Red Sox are wheeling and dealing. They're going to be up till 1:30, 2:30 in the morning, looking to make some trades. I'm excited for baseball season. Somebody called me from Detroit, Michigan. He's like, Wayne, do you still want to do Detroit Tigers, Toronto Blue Jays? I'm like, it's possible. Hopefully the gas prices go down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's essentially what's going to happen. We're going to be driving from Detroit to Toronto.
Yeah, man, that would be tough.
So I got to figure that out. Rental car, and all that good stuff. So, but next year they made an announcement where every MLB team has to play another. Exactly. Every National League team has to play another American League team at least once. So that means I can see the Red Sox come to Citi Field more often. I could go up to Fenway to see the Mets play the Red Sox. I could see Philly up in Fenway. I've never seen Philly up in Fenway yet, but it would just open up more options. I'm kind of sick and tired. I think divisional play is done too much.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa never played Chicago.
So
Tampa
why do you think the
Cincinnati.
Red Sox beat the Yankees so many times? It's because the Red Sox saw the Yankees so many times during the season that they already knew what they were getting in the playoffs.
Exactly.
The Red Sox see the Yankees more times than the Red Sox see any other team in baseball.
And see, that's the thing. It's like
so now there's not going to be that overexposure.
We don't play Cincinnati. We don't play Chicago. Like we don't really play Detroit that much. Like it's gonna be nice to be able to have.
Yeah, so you're gonna see your Rays a little bit more often.
Yeah, man, they'll actually be in the Midwest a little bit more, which is kind of nice. I mean, they'll even I've been wanting to move out to Colorado. That's kind of my spot. Go out to Denver, but I mean they'll play the Rockies a little bit more. I don't think they've ever played the Rockies in the last 5 years. So. Hey man, it'll be exciting.
You have to let me know in advance if you go to Denver.
Yes, of course,
Colorado
man.
Rockies, because that's a stadium I have to get. Looking at me right now.
We'll go to
above
Coors.
I have to go to Coors. I have to scratch that off my poster. I got to
scratch
off poster.
Let me tell you. Let me look if we got Coors on the schedule this year, and we'll plan a trip, man. We'll do an aftermath trip down to Coors Field, man. I'd be down for it.
Oh man, so I'd so be down.
But that's the thing.
I have 10 stadiums left, I believe.
The fact, man, honestly, like with how much stuff we've been putting through as wrestling fans, or as baseball fans, it's so nice to know that we're even having this conversation, man. Baseball is back. We're getting a 162 game season. It's starting 2 days after my birthday, so that first series will start Thursday night for Tampa Bay against Baltimore. I mean, it just makes me feel so good inside to know
Red Sox got the Yankees the first 4 games of the season.
We got some divisional matchups.
That'd be awesome. The Red Sox go against the Yankees and sweep the Yankees to start the season.
Nah, man, you ain't sweeping the Yankees. Tampa Bay is gonna be in front after that first series against Baltimore. Come on, in Tampa.
Okay.
Come on, man. Brett, I'm calling it right now, man. Over a 3-game series. It's dog season. Brandon Lau's hitting 5 homers over 3 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My dude, he's. You know what? I'll make a prediction right now. It may be a little. It might be a little bit of the beer talking, but Brandon Lau's breaking Barry Bonds' record. Brandon Lau's breaking Barry Bonds' record this year, man. He's hitting. Let's say 75. I'm going 75 homers this year.
You're going 75
homers. It is dog season, man. I got 2 jerseys for him. He's my dude, man. I can't not root for Brandon Lau, man.
Wow. Oh man. We'll
I'm
see.
telling you, you watch this podcast, man. We are sitting here on, let me see, what day is it? Saturday, March 12th. It's 12:37 here in Indiana. Brandon Lau, remember this day. Brandon Lau, 75 homers this year, 162 games. I'm calling it right now.
You should video clip this podcast.
Oh, I will, man.
Segment and then tweet him this. You should.
I will, man. I'll tag him in it, and when he does it, let me tell you, I'll put a bet on it. And I'm so confident I'll put a bet on it, man. $10 to Brandon Lau hits 75 or more.
$10.
$10.
Wow.
I'm a little bit of a cheapskate.
Do you imagine how much money you would make on FanDuel if you put $10 on Brandon Lauer hitting 75 home runs?
I would.
Let me tell you,
I'm going to do it right now, man. Hey, don't convince me, man. I'll start doing it, really. I'm excited for it, man. It's I've had a lot of good news this week. Stone Cold's fighting Pat McAfee. I'm obviously in Indiana, so you got that local vibe here. We got Russell Wilson coming to the Broncos, my favorite team. But I don't know, man. I think the baseball news is the best thing that's happened all week. I'm Doggo Moose to MLB confirmed. What do you think, Moose? He's sitting over there.
I'm calling it right now that the Boston Red Sox will win the 2022 World Series. They will.
Really? They
will correct. They were on a rampage, no pun intended.
Oh, come on.
But they were on a rampage. They were steamrolled. They unexpectedly beat your Rays, and I give you that. But then they steamrolled Houston Astros for the first 2.5 games, and all of a sudden, Houston Astros finally figured out how to play. And then,
okay. Obviously,
and then Red Sox forgot how to hit all of a sudden. Like, you can't make this stuff up.
We're buddies.
Red Sox were rolling.
We're good. But do you really think that Boston out of let's be honest. I mean, the AL East is probably the best division in baseball. I think there's 4 teams that you could actively make a
Oh, and all this time we haven't even talked about the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like there's a case for all these teams. Do you really think? I mean, with Tampa winning the division the last 2 years, do you really think Boston's pulling out against the other three teams?
I think they can. It's Boston Red Sox.
It's the Boston.
It's the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox are pretty much like the New York Yankees of the 20th century.
Oh my goodness! Stop it.
Yeah, Red Sox.
You took that title belt off, my man. You're letting it go to your head.
The Marlins.
Hey man. Hey.
Miami Dolphins, man.
Hold on, man. Do you like Jazz? Let me tell you, man. Jazz Chisholm, he might have one of the best seasons this year. I'm telling you, that kid can play, man. I'm telling you, man.
And then the Marlins will find a way to get rid of him.
The Marlins might surprise some people this year, especially if Freddie Freeman decides to leave Atlanta this year. We're kind of seeing that with free agency beginning now.
So tomorrow I get to go see Spider-Man.
No, you're going to see Batman, man. You don't even
yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Wait, come on, man. I've been drinking beer, and you don't even know you're superheroes here, man. Come on.
12:41 in the morning. Tommy is getting loopy and loopier as time goes on. So I'm going to see Batman tomorrow. And it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. I've heard good reviews.
I'm telling you, man, if you're a Batman fan, you'll enjoy it.
Somebody else wants to see this that I know too, so I might end up seeing this twice this month.
There you go.
2 weeks apart, so we'll see. But anyway, in the meantime, we will be back with you next week. This is the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast, sponsored by Back Sports Page,
yes,
where
sir.
You get all your sports news, the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcasts, the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast, podcast for the Brooklyn Nets, and a lot of things going on there. We are sponsored by Back Sports Page. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Spotify, Google Play, and iTunes. For those of you guys that are watching, make sure you guys subscribe to help us out. And share this with your friends. Man. This is WrestleMania season.
Come on, man. We got this WrestleMania season. AEW confirmed.
You never know who's going to show up on our show.
You never know, man. We got a special guest. He's sitting over there in the corner. He's a little tired. You know, Dynamite, Rampage. Isn't that right, Moose? He's looking at me right now, man. I'm telling you. He's it's been come here, buddy. Can we get one for the fans? Come here. Here you go. He's coming. Here we go. Come on, buddy. Moose wants to say hi one last time. Get up here, buddy. Come on. There you go, Moose.
Aftermath Moose. So for those of you guys that are listening on the podcast, this is why you need to be subscribed right now.
There you go, Moose.
Because we have the Aftermath Moose. Moose is
Doggo Moose is saying hi. He's saying hello.
Oh, look at that.
Hi, buddy.
Watch our viewership doubles.
Exactly. Just for Doggo Moose. Come up here, buddy. Come here. Let's say hi to the viewers before we leave. I know. It's been a tough night. Tommy just fell on the I fell off my little rolly chair, but it's okay. Doggo Moose forever, man. You tell him, Michael.
Alrighty, for those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much for interacting with us. It makes our show much easier and more enjoyable to do. Did you guys like the background tonight? If you guys like the background behind me, just throw a little yes in the comment really quick. I'm going to do several backgrounds throughout time. I'm going to do a retro WrestleMania one. I'm going to do a bunch. But if you guys like the backgrounds, type in yes on there. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Yeah, we will be back definitively next week to review AEW. We will announce when we'll do those shows. If WWE, and we'll be talking a little WWE. The card is shaping up there.
WrestleMania, man. We're getting into
it. We're getting close to WrestleMania. And then next year we get to do a show from LA from WrestleMania.
Yes, sir, man. We'll both be there. I'm excited.
That'll be fantastic. But anyhow, those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much. And you guys have an awesome weekend.
From the champion. Oh, G6! That could be a delivery.